There was 400 kids, and I don't know if it's because this is a holiday season, 400 children at Atlantic Station. Now, Atlantic Station, I spoke about Atlantic Station. Atlantic Station's that area in Georgia where you've got a work, play, live community. Couple high rises, I think 2 or 3 high rises, Midtown Atlanta, easy to jump on, to get an Uber and Uber right into. You've got other communities around there that isn't Atlantic Station. They don't have the money. It's not a rich area. It's midtown. It's businesses, fine dining, hanging out in condos that you hang out at, and great shopping. But if you know anything like about Atlanta and the city of Atlanta, you've got a lot of residential, and you do have a lot of what YNs running around that much. But man, I tell you what, 400 children just this past 2 days ago. Crazy fights. Now, there's a thing I think that probably we've got to have nationally as someone that has 3 children. Parents do need to be held accountable for your bad behind children showing up in places like Atlantic Station and just causing and wreaking havoc. Okay? That's the reason why people like me, some of my friends, my wife, we don't even go to Atlantic Station. We wouldn't even be court down there in Atlantic Station. Even though I would love to chill down there for a little bit. And I mean, you got a skating ring down there. You got some cool restaurants. We can't go or wouldn't go, one, unless we're strapped. And 2, even if we're strapped, we wouldn't go because who wants to go down there and still deal with a bunch of chaos and craziness? So Atlanta's dealing with the homeless issue, and then they're dealing with this YN out of control issue. And it's getting worse.
Atlanta police say parents could now face charges after hundreds of teenagers caused chaos at the Atlantic Station. So this is video. This is from Saturday night showing fights unfolding and customers running for their lives. Police said that they first responded to Atlantic Station after 7 p.m. when someone set off fireworks and found about 400 unsupervised kids.
What we did not see were parents of any of the 400 children that were present. And as we continue to address this issue and make adjustments to keep this area safe, we must be joined by parents knowing where their children are, ensuring they are under proper supervision of adults and are abiding by the law.
Officers moved the teenagers from Atlantic Station property, pushing them all the way towards the 17th Street Bridge, and that's where police say 2 guns were fired just before 10 p.m. Now, APD says that it actually detained 5 teenagers responsible for firing those weapons. The ages, the youngest one is 14, and then 15, 16, and 17 years old. Now, the department says parents found not have violated the city's ordinance of proper supervision will now face charges. And when it comes to Atlantic Station, the CEO says that it enforces a strict youth curfew starting at 3 p.m. The CEO has not addressed how 400 unsupervised teenagers were allowed on the property Saturday night.
Now, what they're not saying also is 2 kids were actually shot. One, and 2 of them passed. And I did a video where you have video footage of at least 12 or 13 of them leaving the scene. Didn't even know their buddy that came with them got shot. Okay. There has to be a place where these parents are held accountable, like where parents got to know where their children are. And when you're talking about high school children, is different than when you talk about any other age, because at that age of high school, I know how much shit I was getting into. I know what I was doing. Okay. And fortunately, I had martial arts, which curved a lot of that. A lot of these kids don't have that. Okay. And if it wasn't for things like martial arts or these activities, I probably would have been out there too. And they would have been contacting my mom. Hey, we got to bring charges against you. I learned from growing up that we got to keep an eye on our children because she did the best she could as a single parent. And I'm sure out of those 400 children, you have a lot of single mothers and single parents that were there. But, I had a father in the house up until for a large part. But still, there still needs to be a level of accountability because these parents don't realize that things like this affect property values, the safety of people that live in that area, okay? And they don't care. So there has to be something to make them care about other people. And that is a shame to say that. You figure the days of caring about what other people are experiencing from your chaos has long gone, you know? And that's what we have over here in Atlantic Station, okay? But it's a big issue. And if nobody says anything about it, it's going to persist.
The amount of badass teenagers that I just saw running around Atlantic Station with no adult supervision wearing ski masks was truly shocking. Cops everywhere. What is happening? Y'all need to get y'all children and y'all need to figure something out, baby. I ain't been to Atlantic Station in a while and I ain't going back.
I said it. I'm not going back for a while also, you know?
Away from me, part 2. Bonnets, robes, and house slippers in public. Big ass lashes, colorful wigs, and long nails. Approaching people in public because what they said about you on social media. Handling all your conflicts with fighting and trying to unalive someone. Being impatient in establishments because you believe you more important than other customers. Hanging out at gas stations or convenience stores early in the morning or at night. Calling your homegirls bitches and calling your homeboys the N-word. Blasting loud music everywhere you go, even in quiet environments. Keep that ghetto shit away from
Keep it away from me too. This is why I don't go to Atlantic Station, okay? So there's some places right now, and it's a shame when you come to Atlanta, we would want people to actually see how great the city is, but you got craziness like
From Atlanta,
that.
I'm gonna tell you one place you do not want to go. I know y'all be talking about Young Thug, this, young. Do not come out here to Cleveland Avenue trying to find out where Young Thug grew up at. You see that payphone right there? Anywhere you see a payphone, boy, you know it's the hood. You feel me? Look here. These folks still got payphones out here on Cleveland Avenue. You see that payphone, boy? See that payphone right there? This shit real, so real payphone. Do not come to Cleveland Avenue, boy, trying to see where Young Thug grew up at, boy, because it's ugly out here. It's the worst part of Atlanta, boy. The worst part, I promise you. You see that street sign right there, Metropolitan and Cleveland Avenue. One side is E Point, the other side is Atlanta. Out there is the gutter. Do not come out here if you're not from Atlanta. Period. So that's on everything.
Oh man, I tell you. There's some places in Atlanta you shouldn't visit. And they're making Atlanta Station be just like one of those places you should not visit. And that is the worst. It is the worst, man. It is definitely the worst. All right, cool. Let me